From the director of Septic Man, a movie that Paul really seemed to like for some reason,
I love
we
it.
have yet another disgusting pus-filled ride in Bite, a movie that showcases the absolute horror of what can happen to you if you dare to leave a resort in Mexico. Our main character, Babe, gets afflicted with a disease that'll please all of you sick fuck pimple popping enjoyers. Have you ever watched the movie Septic Man and wished the director had a bigger budget? No? Well, check out Bite.
I love it.
um, well, I guess we can already infer from how you reacted to my intro, but what did you think of Bite, Paul?
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was. It's the highest Rotten Tomato score movie that we've reviewed at like a whopping 51%.
Oh yeah, we're finally moving in the big time.
We're in the big leads. We're in the double digits now, baby.
Moving on up.
Yeah, but I definitely think that it's the best movie we've seen on here,
Yeah.
like the most like well
Actually, I had a
crafted.
plot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it had a point to it, and I feel like things progressed, and like that's how low the bar is, where it's like, wow, like the story actually moved forward.
It was essentially what Septic Man would have been. Like what you said, right? When with a bigger budget. So it's like Septic Man was probably like the pilot, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I like the progression thing, right?"
yeah.
And then they're like, "Let's do it again, but with bugs." Yeah,
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend, Chad Archibald,
my
is
my
back.
lord.
Your lord, yeah. He's like he really seems to favor body horror. That seems to be like his
Yeah.
thing. He likes grossing you out, and this movie is fucking gross. Like, um,
You were squirming a couple times, and
yeah, and normally I'm not like that with movies, but the way that this movie was like its sound design and the way that it designed its like swords. So like the main character here, I called her Babe because that's what like literally everybody calls her in that movie. I don't actually know her name. Casey. Um,
Mhm.
she gets bitten by something when she's on a resort or on a vacation in Mexico, and she leaves the resort, which is a horrible idea. If anybody ever asks you to leave a resort in Mexico, do not do it. And this is why. But she leaves the resort and she gets bitten by something, and she starts to transform into like this weird monster thing.
like a roach.
Yeah, it's like a weird bug like lady, and the transition of it throughout from the beginning to the end is kind of like what I'm talking about, where it's like it's so gross but like fascinating too.
Yeah,
This guy really he really does a good job with like creature designs and just making really gross shit.
the set design was pretty good here too. I
Yeah.
know we mentioned that stuff in Septic Man.
Mhm.
Out of everything, at least like the set was pretty cool.
Yeah, like the
Um,
tank he was in.
yeah, but they
Mhm.
kind of did the same thing here, where it all takes place in essentially one area.
Mhm.
But the progression system doesn't just apply to the main character; it also applied to the room that she was in.
Yeah, which is
So
what I liked about that too. Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty neat. So like
Yeah.
it all started looking really crusty, and it looked like our room.
I really did. Yeah. I was just like, I was reminiscing that like this is what I have to do to just get you to record. So these videos take so long to come out because I have to find Paul in this muck.
You gotta find me in my cocoon.
Jesus, Paul, we need another video. I will emerge.
I will emerge now then.
Oh.
Feed me your egg sack.
Oh God.
You know, Noah and I have this ritual where we exchange bodily fluids before
Yeah.
every show.
Yeah, and that's why our release schedule is so inconsistent, because I just have to wait for our goos to recharge,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just unpredictable.
Noah's favorite is like a plate of vomit,
It's true.
like
Yeah, I love it when you just
spaghetti in it.
You just yak up a fucking plate for me.
Y'all dinner, my lord.
God, I feel so bad for anybody who watches these while eating.
Yeah, probably not the best to eat during these podcasts, to be honest.
Yeah, and don't eat while you're watching this movie because it's fucking gross.
I was eating the whole time. It was great.
Were you really?
No.
I mean, I don't know. You seem like you would. Like you seem like
I could.
you put on like pimple popping videos to eat your lunch,
Yeah,
like at
yeah.
work.
There was a lot of that in this video or
There
in this
was.
movie where
There
it's like, oh,
was.
they had it all, pimple popping, they got like pus and all this shit, dead
Yeah.
corpses and digging into toilets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So the plot of this movie is our main character Casey. She's getting married to some dude. He looks like the Giga Chad meme. He's got like that jawline.
Jordan Gray is the actor.
There you
He
go.
plays Jared.
Oh, okay, Jared. Oh no.
And a quick little snippet. None of the actors in this film actually move on to do anything.
Oh,
Like,
really? That's not very surprising because as we'll get into it.
Well, I mean, I beg to differ because, like, going back to Septic Man, at least in some of those actors in that film, they went on to do stuff. Remember the
yeah, but like the actors in Septic Man have charm. Like they're not very good, but they have charm. Like the almost there.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
we
That's
still
true.
we still quote that forever. I can't fucking name a single line of dialogue that anyone says in this movie. It's like fucking porn acting.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? Our daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our dicks, especially since they're such good size and all.
I guess since we're on the topic, we might as well talk about it.
Mhm.
You're right. Their acting was pretty abysmal.
Yeah.
I did not like it. And honestly, if they had gotten better actors, this would have been a lot better. Like it
Yeah.
would have probably gone from a 51 to like a 60 at least.
Yeah, I would say that too. I agree with that. Like the way that some of these lines are delivered are just so fucking awkward, but like not in an entertaining way, like a Neil Breen movie. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like a really, really bad high school play, is what you're watching here. Like I
Mhm.
said, it's like porno acting. Some of the scenes and the way that some of the cameras is set up, I'm like, is Paul showing me a porno right now? Is this like just something that he made?
The beginning of the movie.
Yeah, the beginning of the movie, especially because it's like found footage. It just looks like one of those like geezy porns you watch or something.
Here is your freaking bachelorette to me. Cheers.
Yeah, but yeah, none of the actors went on to do anything, and then Chad Archibald, he just kept doing his own stuff.
Mhm.
So unironically, this time around, there's more movie to talk about than the actors and behind the scenes itself.
Oh yeah. For the first time, it's flipped, or for one of the like in recent memory, it's flipped where we talk more about the movie itself than the actors because
Yeah.
they didn't do shit after this.
I don't know if it's because of the 50% grading, but I guess there's a sweet spot somewhere out there where the movie actually starts to take over.
Yeah,
Is
I
the
know, right?
part. So,
Yeah. Well,
anywho, let's
yeah,
get
like
into it.
yeah, so they take a girls trip to Mexico. She's with like two of her friends. They're doing a bachelor party because this woman's getting married to the Giga Chad meme, and like right from the get go, it's like a super like loveless marriage. Like they don't really seem like they like each other at all, and she seems really, really hesitant about it in the first place. Where you're just kind of like, well, why are you doing this?
I mean, they're really doing it to like fuck, I guess, right?
Yeah, like it's not really like explained why they're even getting together or doing anything. Like it's just kind of like I don't know, like it just doesn't seem like a relationship that's even like worth salvaging.
I mean, they mention it a lot with Giga Chad's mom. I guess she's like the religious type or
Oh
something.
yeah, she's like a horrible like yeah.
she's like a bitch, and she goes, "Don't you defile my son," or whatever. You whore! Right?
Yeah.
And then like, she's like, "What the fuck? I didn't do anything."
Yeah,
But
like right from the very first scene too. Like her appearance is her just like shitting all over Casey for no reason.
So I was just doing laundry and I ran out of detergent before I left. Do you have some?
A woman doesn't run out of detergent.
the way things are portrayed, it kind of makes sense. I mean, she's kind of a fucking weirdo to begin with.
Yeah.
And then her friends aren't very good, and at this Mexico trip, she's like flirting with this dude, but then that goes sour. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
It all starts with a bite. Insert title card.
Oh, I actually really like that. I like that little cut. It's such a good like gag where it's like, oh, it's just a little bite, and then like the super intense music with the title card.
Yeah.
I dug that. Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's funny. I like that. Yeah, so she gets bitten because like you mentioned earlier, they find this like suave looking Mexican guy. And he's like, oh, I know of this place. Let's go off of the resort. And they go and they jump into this pool of water. Honestly, this place doesn't even look that special. I'd be like, why the fuck did we leave the resort for this?
It's like a cave.
Yeah, it's like a cave with a waterfall. They talk like there's like a fake out scare, but she does get bitten by something.
Oh, something bit me.
Aw, are you okay?
Yeah, it's just a little bite.
You know, like she comes back home from the trip feeling like super guilty about something. Like she has something on her mind, and throughout the movie, you're led to believe that it's the bite that's doing it. Like that's like changing her.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll get to it a little bit later, but it turns out to be something else. But yeah, she's dealing with this bite, and the whole time we're watching this movie, we're like, this bitch needs to go to a doctor, and it's like never brought up once.
It's her fucking leg is like rotting off.
Yeah, she has like this horrible fucking sores all over her body, and it spreads quick.
Yeah, like day one, she's got pimples all over her body.
Yeah.
I'm just a little sick. I got a little bite. Yeah, like that's it. Like, dude, okay, some rando ass bite in fucking Mexico, and you come back. This bitch gonna start the next pandemic. That's literally.
I know, like it's like, god damn, dude, like it's so crazy. Like I'm not normally one to like point out that kind of stuff in movies, like nitpick that shit, but I'm like, what the fuck is this character doing? Like she's just purposefully being dumb.
Yeah,
And
she's got a lot of dumb moments for sure.
yeah, it's not explained. Like if they just said like, oh, she can't afford to go to the doctor, or she's terrified of the doctor or something, but no, she's just like, no, I'm okay. I'll spread this cream on it.
Yeah.
This cream that doesn't do anything but like make it worse.
Yep, that's right. And then she tries contacting like the resort about the bug or whatever, but they don't know what it is. They don't know what the hell she's talking about.
Yeah.
And she goes over to her friend's place, and she goes, I got bit. And then her friend, she kind of plays along with it too.
Yeah.
Goes, I got bit too, or whatever. And she's like showing off like mosquito bites.
Yeah, it's like not the same bite at all.
So like no one knows what it is, so she just kind of plays it off. And then she comes back to the apartment to Giga Chad's place, and then for whatever fucking reason, he like brought this antique baby seat back home.
Oh yeah.
They're almost gonna get married in like a couple days, so they're like, oh, let's get to the baby making right away, right?
Yeah.
His fucking schizophrenic mom or whatever gave him like this antique baby seat, and it looks like shit.
It looks awful.
It looks like an awful like medieval baby seat.
It looks like a horror movie baby seat.
Yeah, it's like rotten wood and shit. And he goes,
Yeah.
"It's beautiful, huh, babe?"
Get out of my mom's storage last month. I found a guy in the village that restores antiques. It's my father's before it was mine.
She's like, yeah.
She's like, yep, looks great. And she's hesitant about having kids herself. Like that's the whole thing. That's like the big reason as to why she doesn't want to marry him is because he really wants kids and she doesn't. Which, by the way, if you're ever in a relationship and that's happening, it's just best to just end it right there.
I don't know how the fuck that was like one of my bigger gripes. I don't know how the hell they went through this whole relationship without one saying like, "Oh yeah, I don't want kids."
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, it's just so stupid. I'm like, then why are you going through with this? You guys will never agree on this.
It's part of the experience though. It once we get to it, it'll be like, oh, okay. It's part of the underlying plot.
So yeah, he brings out this crusty ass, disgusting ass baby chair, and he's like, "Look, we can refurbish it, babe, for all the babies we're gonna have, babe." And she's like, "Oh my god!" For some reason, that like really turns her on, so they start fucking. And credit to Chad Archibald. A lot of these low budget horror movies, they have like every excuse to just be like pervert movies. Like they're so sleazy a lot of the times, but this was very like respectfully shot. And I like that. But yeah, while they're going at it, he like touches one of her sword. This was like the grossest scene in the whole movie to me. He like
this scene.
Yeah, because he has his hand over her sores like the entire time that they're fucking. I'm like, how do you not feel that on your hand? And then he doesn't. He like squeezes her thigh, and then it like bursts open, right?
Yep.
And you're just like, ugh.
Got a bunch of Nickelodeon goo on his hand.
Man, let's be honest. It looks like muck.
Oh yeah, it does. But
Yeah,
all over his hand, and he's just like, "What the hell is this?"
We were joking that he finished so hard it came out of her thigh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it interrupts like their sex time, and she goes into the restroom to like throw up, and and like he's just like, dude, are you okay? Like you should probably go to a doctor. And she's like, no, I'm good. I just spread this cream on it. And she like pulls out the cream and starts rubbing it on her thigh, but it just does nothing. Like it's like comical how useless this cream is.
She's got like a whole fucking crater in her leg by now.
She has like a fucking gash. Yeah,
she has a hole, like a literal hole in her leg.
Yeah,
like it's cream, it's fine.
And then like after that, you don't really see the boyfriend anymore. He kind of disappears from the movie.
Well, he ate some spaghetti and took out.
Oh yeah, he did. That scene was so like funny to me. Just how like exaggerated the sound effects were, like when he's eating the spaghetti, because it's just like because she's like not feeling very well, so all the sound effects around her are exaggerated, and so when he's eating the spaghetti, it's like.
I just must have caught a bug or something.
Yeah, like, what's wrong, babe? You okay?
Lovely. The schloppa.
The schloppa.
And then she goes to bed. She has a dream. I don't know if you recall the dream, Noah, but
I don't.
No?
No.
Okay. The dream involves her having eggs coming out of her.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You see what I'm getting here? Remember
go ahead.
The underlying plot here. She doesn't want babies.
Yeah, she does not.
But the eggs start pouring out of her, and people start squishing them, and they're yelling, "Babies, babies,
babies!" Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah,
because it's like, because it's like eggs, like mosquito eggs, like the ones that you'd see, like they look like little bubbles in the water.
Yeah.
She puts a lot of those out, and they're like, "Wow, babies!" And all her friends start like stomping on them, and she's like, "No, don't kill my babies!" Yeah, and so after that, she wakes up and she pulls all of the footage off of her camera because she was recording. So the opening of this movie was found footage, and I thought this whole movie was going to be found footage, but it was not. But she pulls it out, and she sees something that's like horrifying. And once again, we'll get to that a little bit later. But her friend, she has two friends in this movie. One who's a great friend. She really cares about her and she checks up on her a lot. And another friend who was really distant after the trip to Mexico. And it was kind of a mystery as to why.
Fucking cunt.
Yeah, she's a bitch. But yeah, like she starts slowly transforming. Her apartment just becomes like disgusting, like covered in webs and like goo on the floor. Like she's like throwing up constantly. Like that's most of this movie, to be honest. It's just her being like wallowing in filth. That's why I thought of Paul.
Yes.
And she's like slowly transforming. Like what do you think she's transforming into?
To me, it seemed like she was transforming into kind of like a praying mantis sort of.
Okay.
I was thinking, or
Yeah,
like
that
bee. I don't know.
yeah,
There's
that's
a lot of slime on her. So
yeah.
what's more slimier? Like a mosquito, I guess.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that she's like slowly transforming into a mosquito. That's what
Probably what it
because
is.
their babies look like that, like the little eggs they lay. That's what it looks like, and they're very slimy. But mosquitoes can't spit acid, and she can.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so yeah, like the mom comes in, the boyfriend's mom comes in and start just to shit on her some more. She's like, you know what? I haven't done it enough. I'm gonna go in there and like call you a bitch and like tell, because she's the landlord of that apartment complex.
Mhm.
She owns that building, so it explains why she can just get into Casey's apartment.
Oh yeah.
So she gets in there and they have like a weird argument where the mom's like, "You're a whore," like, "Look at you. This is why. This is because you're a whore." And she like spits acid at the mom, and it kills her instantly.
That was like an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because she got like angry or something. She started spitting acid
Yeah, she just fucking spit. She like puked green Nickelodeon slime on her.
on her, and like it got on her face and it killed her immediately. Which I'm like, wouldn't I kill you immediately? Just acid on your face.
No.
Yeah, surely it would. I mean, just go to the UK for more than like 10 minutes and you'll find that out. But yeah, so she dies and then she just throws her in the bathtub. Like she doesn't even bother to dispose of the body.
Yeah, she could have ate that.
Yeah, she could have. Honestly, I was expecting this movie to go that direction where she just starts eating, because the movie's called Bite. And so you'd think that like it would make her like cannibalistic or something, but it doesn't. She just stores the body in the bathtub.
Bite of 87.
The Bite of 87. But yeah, I mean, from then on there, nothing really happens for like 30, 40 minutes. Like there's like a weird middle ground where nothing happens but just like gross out stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the gross out is she's having the babies, or like she knocks out every so often.
Yeah.
She wakes up and her room becomes a little more disgusting.
Yeah.
With eggs all over the place and webbing and all that shit.
Yeah.
And she looks at it and she goes, "Oh my god, the babies." Right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Like everyone's doing their own thing and no one ever goes to check on Casey.
Yeah, like days pass by and no one goes to check on her.
Yeah. Couple days pass by and her boyfriend, who's literally down the hall, goes, "Huh, maybe I should check on Casey." Bro, okay.
Oh, what does he say exactly? Because we were laughing at how ridiculous it was. He says like,
because he tries calling her. He tries calling her on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hasn't answered for 3 days or whatever. And it's like, dude, she's right down the fucking hall. Just go her door.
Let's go fucking check on her.
What the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah.
So he does that, and then she doesn't answer, so he leaves. He just gives up. And it isn't until one of her friends goes to the other friends, I guess the bad friend, her place, and she goes, "Hey, have you checked on Casey? What's up with that?" Right? And then her friend's like, "Who gives a fuck?" or whatever.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Whatever. I like her mans. And she storms off and she calls her a cunt.
Yeah, she does.
and the bad friend gets offended for whatever reason, even though she is
a cunt.
Undoubtedly a cunt. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the part where I'm like, oh, like why? Because her friend, her innocent friend, goes to her place to actually check on her. One of the only people to do this. She
Yep.
actually goes over there and checks on her. She has a key just like everyone else.
Yeah,
Apparently.
for some reason, everyone just has a key to fucking Casey's apartment.
Yeah, I don't know how they all have keys, but they do. And she goes into her apartment and she's freaking out what she sees. Like there's like the webbing is up on the walls. It smells like shit.
The eggs, yeah, and all
Eggs
that.
are everywhere, slimy, and she eventually runs into Casey, who's like, she's got that what's that one phobia where you have like you're afraid of holes?
Isn't it like
Tryptophobia? Or something like that?
yeah, hold on, phobia.
What is it
of
called?
Holes.
It looks like you're like a honeycomb.
Yeah, trypophobia.
Yeah, it's trypophobia. That's right.
Yeah.
So Casey starts looking like a trypophobia meme, and her friend's freaking out. She's like, "What's going on?" And then she locks herself in the bathroom, and she's trying to call like the cops, I guess.
Yeah.
And she sees the dead body of the mother-in-law, about to be mother-in-law, and she freaks out and she drops her phone in the fucking bathtub.
In the disgusting muck water, yeah.
Yeah, she has to fish it out.
Which
And
I
I like that.
Yeah, but I'm like, this is just an unnecessary gross out scene. I'm like, that phone is fucked. Like, there's no way you're recovering anything off that phone.
Yeah.
Then Casey bursts through the door because I guess she has like super strength, and instead of breathing acid on her, she like closes her mouth and nose and like suffocates
she puts, like,
her.
Silly putty on her.
Yeah, silly putty. Yeah. Kirsten, the nice one, the one that actually cared about her, she just dies. Like, she has like the worst death. She just suffocates, and she suffocates at a quick rate because she's breathing in her CO2. She like literally poisoned her friend. So that was a pretty fucked up death. But what's her name? The other friend, after she dies, the other friend, her name is Jill. She confesses her love to Casey's boyfriend, her husband, her fiance, and she's like, look, she doesn't even fucking care about you. And she shows him the video. She shows him the video, which, it's a certain part of it is left out. But once again, we will get to that, where it shows Casey making out with the suave Mexican dude, or suave Costa Rican dude. And the boyfriend's like, what the fuck, man? I can't fucking believe it. And so they just immediately start fucking in his car.
There was a thing that she said right before, though.
What did she say?
She said, I would never do that to you. Remember that?
Yeah, fucking real nice guy energy here.
Yeah, he said from the donkey's mouth, he says, I would never do that to her.
Did she sleep with him? I never would have done that to her.
Yeah.
And then he instantly does it right afterwards.
Instantly fucks her, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, they start going at it too. But in the beginning of the movie, Jill was also bitten by that thing. So, once again, I think she just throws up on him while they're going at it. Like that weird cum stuff. And I'm like, man, this guy just can't catch a fucking break. no matter what he tries to do. So because while they're fucking, Casey detects it, like she like senses it, and she like screams, and that makes Jill throw up on him. And it's like, what are her powers here?
I
is this?
Don't know. She was just able to do it. Sonic frequencies, you know.
Yeah. But yeah. So then she walks in. Or they go to check up on Casey, and that's when like it's revealed what the video is and what horrified Casey so much at the resort. And none of this is shown. It's just kind of like implied. At the resort, she was sexually assaulted by the Costa Rican dude, and Jill recorded it to use as like evidence against her. So that really pisses off Casey, and she just kills Jill. Like, doesn't she, like, sting her, I think?
She ties her up, and then, yes, I believe she gets stung by her, like, tail thing.
Somebody help! Shut up!
Oh yeah, she has a Frodo moment. That's right.
Oh, she does, where she's all, like, webbed up.
Yep. She's all webbed up, and then she gets stabbed by Casey and dies there.
Casey kills her. And then Jared comes in, and they have, like, a fight. Jared successfully kills her. He kills their main character.
Dude, he doesn't just kill her, he murks her.
Oh yeah, he like stomps her head, doesn't he?
He fucking like curb stomps her, yeah.
It's like one of the most like mean-spirited kills in the whole movie. We're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yep.
It's so out of pocket.
Her out. He stomps her like a bug.
Yeah, that's true. But Casey managed to sting him.
Yep, that's right. So before he killed her, she stung him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And he's limping away. He goes to his room. For whatever reason, he doesn't call the cops or something. I forgot how it happens. Yeah, I'm assuming the cops just come eventually because of the smell. It smells terrible. Yeah, it stinks terrible. So he goes to his room and he sits in a corner. And when the cops come in, they investigate everything. And they see the bug-infested room and Casey's fucked up dead body and all that shit. And they see all the bugs and stuff, and some of the bugs are hatching. Oh no! Right?
Yeah. Yep.
So like, the bugs are starting to spread, and they're gonna bite everyone else, and the process will continue. But they find the Giga Chad, and they go into his room, and they see that his corner where he was in now has a cocoon.
Oh.
What does this mean? Oh no! And they open it up. The guy's right back there. He goes, close the door, right? Don't open the cocoon. and the guy and the Giga Chad is actually filled with fucking little bug eggs.
Yeah, he
from
was
Casey.
Carrying a ton of them. Yep.
Yeah, he's carrying a ton of them, and they start hatching inside of him, and they open them up, and the bugs start spreading. Mm-hmm. Oh no! So it goes back to the whole underlying plot that Casey never wanted babies. Oh no!
Oh.
But they got their babies now. Ah!
Oh, yep.
You see that? You see?
And that's how the movie ends, with another great delivery of that punch, where it's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a little bite. And then
I like that.
Yeah.
It just shows like two women running, going for a jog or whatever, and yeah, she gets bit.
Yeah.
It's just a bite.
Yeah, so that was Bite. Pretty like uneventful, like kind of slow in the middle. But the beginning and the end are like a fucking like 30 miles, like, or like a billion miles an hour in terms of like pace. They're so quick. Everything goes to shit so fast.
Yeah. A lot happens pretty quickly. It's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So it's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, I think it could have been paced a little differently.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I thought it was like pretty okay, pretty solid for the most part. But there is one thing I wanted to point out.
What?
So when this movie came out, of course, it was met with pretty negative reviews, or like middling, I guess you could say, because some people loved it, some people didn't really like it.
Chad Archibald fans.
Yeah,
rise up.
But apparently at some of the screenings of this movie, because it premiered at some film festivals, and take this with a grain of salt, but apparently people in the audience were very unprepared for what this movie was. They didn't really have an idea of what it was, and a few people fainted, and one girl legitimately threw up while watching this movie. And so they used it as marketing at film festivals. They handed special Bite branded barf bags to people. Yeah, like that was part of like the marketing of this movie, how repulsive it was.
That's interesting.
Which I don't think it's that level. It's pretty gross,
No.
but like that's kind of a exaggeration. But I was just like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a cool little gift bag.
I want that. What the hell?
Can you find that?
Yeah. Can we be friends with Chad Archibald? We've covered 2 of his movies now.
Dude, I would hang out with that guy.
Yeah, seems like
Talk
a pretty
about
cool
Septic
guy.
Man all day.
Yeah.
He'd probably share like pictures of his poop. I'm down.
Do you think that like he actually like? Do you think he's actually disgusting in real life, or he just makes disgusting movies?
I don't know. A lot of artists seem to separate the art from the artist, you know. So perhaps
Yeah.
he's much more normal than I think he is. But that would be kind of cool. Get some Chad Archibald poops in my inbox.
Well, Paul, if you keep saying that, I don't think he's gonna want anything to do with us.
I'm your biggest fan, Chad Archibald.
Please send me your poop. I'm a huge fan. But
It was but the underlying topic here, Noah, is family. Okay,
it's true. It's true. Very true. It's a movie about family, and that's what makes it so powerful.
that's right. That's right.
I'm gonna go ahead, Paul. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I would recommend Bite. I think that if you're a fan of gross out stuff and you're looking for like the Fly type movie, you might be satisfied here.
Yeah, you know what? You make a good point. This is actually pretty reminiscent of The Fly. Yes.
Yeah.
Some say it's even better than The Fly. Just saying.
I mean, I don't know anybody who would say that, but
Probably nobody, but it's definitely taken a couple notes from Fly. The
sure.
Fly. Ugh,
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yes.
The
yes.
Fly. Yeah.
The
But,
Fly.
Yeah, I like filmmakers like Chad Archibald. I hope they continue to work. They definitely make interesting things.
He's definitely done other stuff. I'm not sure if he's continued with the gross out factor, because his like more latest stuff has been more like medieval type of shit, or like the Renaissance era type of stuff, like like Vitch, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to that kind of feel. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
His most recent movie is "I'll Take Your Dead," and that was in 2019.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more of the Heretics, which involves like a cult.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
maybe we'll cover that one soon.
Who knows? But yeah, I would definitely recommend Bite. I think it's good enough to view for like a silly Bo Billy Friday night, you know.
Yeah, I can
like,
see that for sure. There's definitely some funny stuff.
Yeah, just like I just want to see a movie, you know, shut my brain off. Maybe not eat popcorn while watching it, but you know, go for it, right?
Yeah, that's what I would say too. Is do not eat while you're watching this, unless you're like you really don't give a fuck or you're not affected by that stuff at all. Because this movie is like legitimately really gross.
Nowhere.
Something Bite.
Joke involving Bite. Why don't you take a bite out of this? Ha.
Oh. You know, Paul, your jokes really bite.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Oh my god. The ending of this video really bites.
God damn it.
Oh my god. Septic Man.